Well, as usual, the first commodity we are going to be looking at this morning is the US oil. And on the US oil, we have a choppy scenario that has been going on here in the last 48 hours. During the live session yesterday, we were around this point here. Hold on a second. Let's quickly locate that. Okay, so we were around the $74.60 level here, where we were thinking that price might likely push to the downside if it breaks down the $74 level, though it actually broke down that $74 area. And if you are taking advantage of that move, price action moved over 140 pips move before we started witnessing another buy pressure coming in at that area, which came back to our entry zone, and since then price has continued to find higher lows at this point. So at this point in time, it is very important that we remain patient considering the recent structure we have here on the 1 hour time frame. And if we look closely into the structure, we can see that price is caught within a channel, a flat channel between the $75 level here. As you can see, that is the resistance point of this channel. And then we have the support level of this channel sitting right around the $73 level to further emphasize that there is an indecision in this market right now. And we cannot this is likely going to be connected to the anticipation of the NFP, and so we are seeing that participants in this market are stepping aside, waiting for a catalyst which might bring some form of liquidity into the markets to drive price movement. So in this regard, we're going to be remaining patient here and wait out for either a breakout of this channel to give us an opportunity to buy the US oil, or a breakdown of this channel to give us an opportunity to sell the US oil. So at this point, there is nothing for us to do right now. Let's just be on standby to catch that move right above the resistance level, or the move right below the support level of this channel. Before I make a close here on the US oil, I think it's appropriate that we scale up to the daily time frame. Let's quickly have an holistic view of what is really going on here, and let's have a little tending towards a particular direction where we should be having a good sign that price will be going in that direction. So in that regard, we will be scaling up into the daily time frame, and let's see what we have here on the daily time frame. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the week, we were able to identify some structures here on the daily time frame, but one thing I'll be doing right here is to zoom into the last 6 months here, and let's see what has been going on this commodity. So since the month of June last year, we saw that price has consistently found lower lows and lower highs, and as a result of that, we had this bearish trend line figured out after connecting the series of lower highs. However, when we look at what has been happening here since the month of September last year, we saw that price was caught within a little consolidation phase here, where price was we had the resistance level at the $93.50 level and the support area at the $78 area before it was finally broken during the first week of December last month. We saw the breakdown of that channel. Price came back to do a retest of the $80 level, a level which also shares a confluence with that bearish trend line. And since the beginning of this year, we've begun to see a selling pressure pushing price further to the downside at this point. And since Tuesday, when price tested the $73 level, we are beginning to see by pressure around that area. And one thing about the structure here, let me zoom in so that we can see things more clearly here. So one thing about this structure is that as soon as price tested the $73 level here on Tuesday, we started seeing buy pressure coming in from that structure. And one thing about this level is the fact that we can see that price is still yet to break down the previous low, which is giving us a sign that we might be having a possible bullish momentum coming in at this point. Another thing that could happen here is following this impulsive move to the downside, that is the impulse leg that started this year, breaking down this trend line, breaking down the $78 level, we might be seeing a situation where price will retrace back into a structure here around the $78 level, a level which shares a confluence with that bearish trend line, where we might be seeing a possible incitation of another wave of bearish momentum. And if price breaks out of that structure, we could be looking out for another wave of buy possibility here on the US oil. So at this point in time, we really need to understand what is really going on around the 73 and the $74 level, 73 and the $75 area, in order to decide if price will likely go up, probably in the form of a retracement of the previous impulse leg, or we could be having a trend continuation pattern where price will break down that structure to incite another wave of bearish momentum. So this is what we are going to be looking out for on the lower time frame. So that is why we have this area to look out for. So scaling back down to the 1 hour time frame, we begin to see things more clearly if we relate it with what we have identified on the daily time frame. And what was that we were able to see on the 1 hour time frame? Well, it's very simple. We already have a channel already sitting around this area that is between the $75 level and the $73 area, where we have been witnessing a consolidation phase around that area. So at this point in time, I have told us that we want to remain patient here and let's wait out for either a breakout to the upside to give us an opportunity to buy, or a breakdown of the structure to give us an opportunity to sell the US oil. But at this point in time, things are looking a little bit bullish at this point. As you can see here, I have this bullish trend line identified after connecting the series of higher lows here. So it's likely tending towards a bullish momentum, but we need to wait for price to break out that $75 level, giving us a good signal that buyers have come to stay, and at the same time taking out all the sell position that we have here, gain some liquidity, and then look out for buy pressure right around the structure in our lower time frame. Then we could join that rally to the upside. And if we are actually joining that rally to the upside, remember, we have identified a TP target sitting somewhere between the $77.30 level and the $79.40 area, where I said we shall be looking for a TP target, and that same area might likely incite another wave of bearish momentum on the US oil. So that is what we are going to be looking forward to here. So at this point, let's remain patient and wait out for either a breakout of the channel or a breakdown of this channel to give us a signal of where price will be going towards at the last day of this day. So thank you very, very much for this. If you have any questions, kindly type it in the comment section, and I will be willing to be of help in that regard.